Oh. The impossible child. Do you have one? You know, often people blame parents for the way their children behave, the way they act, the way they see them in stores, in the public, in the streets. But you know, genes sometimes play a much bigger role than the upbringing of the child. You can have a family of parents who have 1, 2, 3 other children who behave well, smile, do well in school, are kind to their neighbors, great friends, and then they have one child who's just impossible. Yes, abusive parents do harm their children, but the vast majority of parents are doing their best, and they're doing a good job, an okay job of parenting their children. And often when they've got a difficult child, they're more the victim in the situation. Other kids in the family are afraid of this kid, and for good reason. They don't want to get beaten up, they don't want to get hurt. And as soon as this kid walks in, the whole energy in the room changes. Do you have a kid like that? Mother says, I know he needs my time and attention and my love, and he doesn't have any friends, and he has such a hard time in school. But then I find it so hard to be nice to him because he's always doing something crazy or hurting somebody. And you might have gone to a professional and had him evaluated because the school said for sure you need to, you know. And then he comes out, oh yes, he has OCD and ADHD and ODD and mild Asperger's and who knows it, you name it. But you're like, oh great, now I know what the problem is. And yes, you're gonna go for therapies and you're gonna seek advice and take courses and read books. But at the end of the day, it's still difficult. It's hard. I remember I had a kid who had a lot of sensory issues, and he was always making a disaster of my house. There was flour and water and bringing mud and touching everything and everything sensory related. And I remember comparing myself with my neighbor down the block who would just go with her children, all walking nicely, holding the stroller or in the stroller, going to the park and home from the park, and her house was perfectly organized. And me, I couldn't get my kids to the park and I couldn't get them home from the park. I'd be running around chasing them, and then I'd get home and my house was a disaster all the time. You know what's so important? You've got to stop judging yourself. You've got to stop looking at the neighbors. Don't look at them. They're not raising your kids. If you have a difficult child at home, the first thing you need to do is pat yourself on the back. Give yourself good messages, empowering messages. You're doing a good job. You're trying your best. You are a hero. This is a hard journey, much, much harder than what you signed up for, I know. And you've got to arrange frequent breaks for yourself and sometimes also for the other kids in the family, to get out away from the negativity, to just enjoy yourself, to fill yourself up so you can have the energy to deal with what you need to deal with every day. And yes, the therapies and the books and the implementing everything you've learned, it's hard, it's taxing. But you're doing a good job, you're doing your best. You are a good parent. The challenge of raising a chronically difficult child is enormous. Every day, you need to pat yourself on the back that you're doing a great job. And I want you to comfort yourself in the realization that you've been chosen to raise this special soul, to help him on this beginning of his journey through this world. And that God has faith in you to do that. You can be a miracle maker, Mom.